Well, howdy there, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Also, I know that the music is different in this one than it was last time, and that's going to be a little bit jarring for you. Well, what do you know? I got copyright claimed on my last story time. I'm just getting copyright claimed left and right by channels, and I end up getting shot down. But somebody got upset because I used royalty-free music, but whatever, who cares? Well, I actually didn't get copyright claimed. I got content ID'd. It's a different thing. But nothing negative happened to my channel. It's just an annoyance that I don't feel like dealing with. So I'm changing the song for the foreseeable future for as long as I continue to do story times. What's this story time about? Well, I'm a little bit hard of hearing, and let's talk about that. I'm going to tell you how I got put in the mind of this to even talk about it, because I hardly ever bring it up. It's such a minor thing, but recently I was scrolling through Facebook, and my friend, who I will call Beelzebub to protect the innocent. Wow, I did a great job of coming up with a name. So Beatrice shared a post that said, like this if you're a hearing person that doesn't mind subtitles in a movie. When you're at the theater, that is. Alright, let me try to... There we go, now I'm focused. And I read it and I thought, I was like, well, I can mostly hear, but I understand some people can't hear. But I don't know. It was a weird train of thought. I was thinking more as someone that has trouble hearing sometimes. And I was like, well, I can hear in most movies, but there have been a couple movies that I absolutely couldn't hear when I was watching them. So I commented something to that nature, and Bartholomew got all over me and was like, this isn't asking about your personal preference. This is in consideration of people that are hard of hearing. And she was basically calling me out for being less than considerate. And I was like, we've never had this conversation, but I am hard of hearing. My hearing is impaired. It's not majorly impaired, but sometimes in a certain volume range, if I can't see you and you're talking to me, I likely won't hear you. And then sometimes, the other day, I was walking down the street and there were some cops, and one of them was like trying to get my attention. He said, "Hey partner." He said it a couple of times before I actually heard him, and he wasn't too far away from me, but because I couldn't see him, my ears weren't engaged. And it's not a huge problem. Sometimes I do end up with like a consistent and long ringing in my ear, and sometimes I can last for days, but sometimes I can also tune it out, so it's not the biggest issue in the world. Whenever I've gotten like a physical, my hearing has been passable, but it does fall short sometimes. And how that happened was I used to play the drums like quite a bit. Back when I lived in Chicago, which I'll probably do a video about living in Chicago, I went to an elementary school that was very pro-black, which, what a surprise, living in Chicago, there's a school that's pro-black. And that being the case, we had a bunch of different types of drums. We had like rock band drums, we had tribal drums, we had acoustic drums, things like that. And I played a little of all of it. And I played it very loudly. I didn't understand rhythm yet, so I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was just banging on them as hard as I could, and I did that a lot when I was very young. I think I was like 6 or 7 at the oldest, because I moved from Chicago at the age of 8. So I was 6 or 7 when I was doing this, and this was damaging my hearing while I was still in my early developmental years. I didn't know that there were any negative consequences because they didn't manifest until much later. And so when I first moved to Kansas City, oh no, don't show up at my house. It was hard for me to like fit in, so I decided I'd be the kid that was obnoxious, and I was also fat at the time. I was doing a story time about that. I got plenty of things I could talk about, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I made a lot of noise with percussion instruments like tambourine, sleigh bells, things like that, the triangle, and still my ears were developing. Whenever it was recorder day, I would blow into it as hard as I could. Then it would start to hurt my ears, but I didn't care. I would keep doing it because it was just, hey, that's the kind of kid that I was. If I could see that kid now, I'd punch him in the face. But I went to a different school in Kansas, We had tribal drum circles, things like that. I would continue to play it against my instruction and just bang on them as hard as I could. I actually do have drum rhythm. I was just being an idiot. Like, I'm not gonna... That's terrible. Let me try that again. I wonder what the waveform's gonna look like on that. But anyway, I have actual drum rhythm. I was just being an idiot. And from there, I transferred to a different school. I've been to a whole lot of schools. That's not the point. And I was on my school's drum line. Like, actual, we would go perform concerts, drumline, and we had Kevlar headed drums, so we had bulletproof drums, which amplify the sound, as you would imagine. Why else would they be made that way? But I did not wear earplugs, and I was 13 at this time, so I was just making all the noise in the world. Just all. Imagine bulletproof drums played to. That rhythm over and over again as hard as I could play it because I was trying to stand out. And not only that, but I've been listening to music on above recommended levels for multiple years now. Terrible idea. Listen, if you're young, don't do that. I know everybody tells you not to listen to your music too loud, but especially if you've got ear plugs and not headphones. Like if you've got, hang on. Like, if you've got these types of headphones, still watch the volume, but they're not going to do as much damage as, like, earplugs that go in your ears. But, just don't listen to your music ultra loud like I did, because sometimes just the act of listening to music on a low volume with my current Bluetooth headphones, I don't know where they're at right now, will hurt me. Like, it'll just cause immediate pain. Not too long ago, I had an ear infection that hurt deep down into my jaw. Focus, please. I think my camera's trying to tell me to focus. There we go. But moral of the story is, if you're gonna play drums, wear ear protection. Don't be an idiot. If you're gonna listen to music, don't listen to your music ultra loud. Don't be an idiot. Take it from old man Toxic here. I don't really have a way to end this, but that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for listening to me tell you about my personal life. I know that they're some of the least popular videos on the channel, but I don't know. I feel like getting a chance having the chance to get to know me on a more personal level, I feel like is really important, because apart from being the guy that just that criticizes things and analyzes them on the internet, I want to be a person, you know. I don't want to be like CinemaSins where I'm just a voice. Eventually I am going to be switching over to a format where you don't see my face anymore. It's just going to be me talking over footage or something like that, and I'm a little animated guy. But that's in the future. As of right now, I want you to know that there's a person here, and a person that has been through some things in life, and I want to talk to you about them, so that I'm a more relatable character. But that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna bother you guys for too much longer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.